Hey babes, and welcome back to Rambles and Makeup with your rambling host, DohiSama. Today we're going to be doing a Todoroki inspired look, so grab your makeup, grab your brushes, and your notepads, because we are going to be talking about Soul Eater and Meet Me in the bathroom. Alright babes, a couple of things. One, it is really hot in Texas right now, and so there is a fan on in here because I am not doing the heat today. So if you hear a little background noise, it is my fan keeping me alive, okay? Okay. But now that I just tested that out, I see that you can hear me pretty well. Number two, y'all, I've realized I used to think contacts were so cool. I hate putting these things in sometimes. Sometimes they go in great, fine, gravy, peachy. Today ain't one of those days, and I'm like up here with it, okay? My eye all red. It's been a thing already. But welcome back, you guys, my dandelions, and today we are gonna be talking about Soul Eater. Yay! So I want to try to do things a little bit differently, and that just pretty much means some animes, they have like a lot of characters, right? And because of that fact, I want to talk about like the main characters, but I'm gonna add side notes for like the supporting characters and everybody else who makes up the universe. I think I got everybody covered in Soul Eater. Think is the definition here, but we are gonna get into it and see. We are also doing Todoroki today because that's babe, and I just realized I have to go get something. Okay, so first of all, I hope y'all have been well. I hope you've had like another great week. Okay, tell me like something you did in your week, even if like you don't think it was interesting. Tell me, because I may find it extremely interesting. One thing I've done in my week has been to like keep control of some nieces and nephews that came over, and yeah, it's been a little, I guess, chaotic, but I've learned lessons in the chaotic midst, so I'm very happy for like the time I've gotten to spend with them. And their kids are just, they're great, okay? Like, they're wonderful. The way they think and act, and like their little intelligence makes me feel dumb, and I'm just like, you're absolutely right. Or like the way that they're nonchalant about things, I'm like, case in point, babe, case in point. But that being said, we're gonna start this look off, and we are gonna, as always, hope for the best, and not be stressed. So I was going to do another blind react, but things didn't really, because I did not know what anime that I wanted to do, you know, and I was sitting here trying to figure out what anime I was going to get it together with. And then I was like, well, why not just go with the OG classics? And I really have to thank God, because he be stepping in and doing it for me when I don't know what I want to do. But so we're going to talk about this old anime that I fell in love with. And also, I just want to apologize and tell y'all, I know, but like, so, those are key phrases in my dictionary. I apologize, but so, that's just kind of where I'm at. So, Soul Eater, this was an anime that came out in 2008. It doesn't even seem like that long ago, because what it's 2023 now. Shay, math. Do some math. So if it's 2023, 2008, since that's a 3, I take from that, that's 113. So that's 5. And then that's 1. I was 15. No. Wait a minute. Hold the phone. Obviously, I'm a better math expert than I thought. But yeah, I was 15 when it came out, friends. And it's wild. Because, like, we're all adults now. Whoever's still alive in the universe. I was going over the Wicca today. And first of all, it's always funny to me when I go back over things like that, because I'm always left gasping for air, like, ooh, this is what ended up happening, because I never keep up with it. And honestly, for half my life, oh well, for half my life, I didn't even notice, or I didn't even know manga was a thing, or like I didn't know that the shows were adapted from the manga, which made me feel even more dumb. Let me tell you about that. But yeah, there's a lot going on in this universe. And then they even had a spin-off called, I think, like Not So Soul Eater or something like that, like the kid version, or I guess like a friendlier version, you could say, of the show. I can bring this down a little bit. Just a little bit. Let's start out with like the background of Soul Eater. So, in this universe, they are in this city called Death City. Now, Death City is like, it's a pretty wicked place. It is too legit to quit. But so in Death City, there's this academy, and it's called the Death Weapon Meister Academy. And pretty much Meisters go there, and Death Sites go there to basically train and become Reapers, or I guess like the Soul Reapers are training the weapons, which are the Death Sites. And so this school is operated by a man named Lord Death, who in this universe is like God, which is wild to be because his name is Death. But anywho's, so Lord Death has created this sanctuary so that these students, you know, can come and hone their skills and like protect the world from evil, right? Wicked. Well, okay. This school has a lot of problems, and Lord Death has a son, so they are really trying to keep them safe from like bad people in these things called Keishans. Now, Keishans, okay, from these bad things called Keishans. I'm gonna get into that more later. So Lord Death, he is like the headmaster, you know, he's Dumbledore, but for the Soul Eater Society. And he has a weapon named Spirit Albarn. I don't like pronouncing his name. Albarn. Also, sorry for the names that I'm gonna screw up in this, but he is his weapon. Now, Spirit, let's talk about this man, because I remember when I first watched the show, I was just like, you are horrible. And while I still do believe he has horrible actions, he does try. I feel like he tries to redeem himself, but he just has a problem. His problem is he cannot stay faithful, all right? Like, he is lusting after everybody in the academy, which also raises red flags, because again, directors, why do you think it is okay for like this grown man to be perving on like supposed 13 and 14 and 15-year-old girls in the academy? But so he mostly goes after older women, of course, but he has some questionable moments. He's not the only one by far who has questionable moments, but he is the one that is thrown under the bus for his unfaithfulness. Now, why this is so important is because the main character, his daughter Maka, her mother was a Meister, like, you know, what Maka's trying to become like. And her mother helped her dad become like a death site. So it is truly the ultimate of betrayals. And so in order to become a weapon, we're going to talk about the weapons real quick. In order for them to be able to become a weapon, let's even jump back a little bit further. So death sites, they are what is being wielded by reapers, right? So a death site, instead of them being a normal human, they are a human hybrid. So they are humans, but they can mold their bodies into becoming weapons. Did I just mess it up a little bit? And so Maka's dad, Spirit, he is the most powerful weapon that there is to date. Like, he is the first, he is the most powerful. Nobody supersedes him. Well, the only one who supersedes him is Excalibur. Excalibur is like a legendary swordsman, so he is #1, and then Spirit is like #2. That's kind of how I interpret them. And so Spirit, he has a caring heart. He seems to really care for his daughter, and he tells her a lot that he still indeed, you know, loves her mother and like wants her to be happy. And I don't know why they don't show her mother. I don't really know. Like, I've always wanted to see the mom and hear her take of things, but they only ever show the dad. And I can't remember why. And while I was doing research, it was not spoke about. So I really need to go back and... Because of her mother, Maka wants to become a reaper. Okay, so back to here. Back to the people. In order for them to become a scythe or like weapon, they have to kill and eat 99 evil souls and 1 witch soul. And when they do that, that is when they get to become like weapon status. And so they work together with their meisters or reapers. I guess meisters, because technically both of them are reapers, but they work with them in order to become, you know, weapons. So Maka over here, let's talk about her for a second. Maka, she's sweet. She's really smart. She has pigtails. She's a blonde, you know, like she really is a good girl. Like, she gets good grades. She's a hard worker. She wants to follow after the steps of her mother. We do love Maka. Maka just have some moments, because I mean, y'all know me. I get to finally rant about people, so I'm going to take advantage of this luxury. Maka makes me mad because, let's start with that. She, in a way, reminds me of Sakura from Naruto. She just ain't that bad, okay? But Maka, first of all, she is enamored by Soul. I don't care what nobody says. You can see it written all over that girl's face. Ooh, you can see it written all over that girl's face. She really does like Soul. And instead of being honest and like trying to get it together with him and find out where he is with things, she just gets mad at him and lashes out at him. And I think that just, I don't like that character design for females. You know, like, I mean, true, it can happen, but I don't know. It just kind of made me mad to see how much she went off on him, because it seemed like Soul really liked her too. So I don't understand. I don't understand why she couldn't just tell him what she was feeling, you know? Okay, I'm gonna try to talk right here because I kind of want you guys to see like this technique I'm gonna do or use, in case anybody else wants to try it this way. I'm gonna be blending in my Suva and with this look. So I'm gonna be using Bomb AF Acid Trip and Tracksuit, which, what a combination, okay? And then of course I use ColourPop eyeshadow for certain parts. But okay, so we just finished up talking about Soul, or we were talking about Soul and Maka. And so like I said, Maka, she's a really good fighter, okay? I always find myself rooting for her. I do want her to win. She does have a good heart. And I understand, like, I get it. She's mad at her dad because he can't get it together. He can't stop cheating on his wife. Like, he hurt her mother. And, like, as you should, Maka, go off on him. But it comes a point in time where I just feel like, I don't know if it's because she is 13 or what it is, but sometimes I feel like she's extremely rude to her dad. And like, okay, regardless of anything, hear me out. You should not insert yourself into your parents' business. It's just better for everybody if you don't. But so Maka is out here just like letting her dad have it. He could say Maka hello, and Maka's like, die please right now, just go. And I'm just like, so you better leave her alone, okay? So, and I'm talking about her dad, Spirit, not Soul, Spirit. But so speaking of Soul, he a little. So, okay, so first of all, he was like one of my first ever anime crushes. And so I know that I have a heart for this man. And whenever he's going through like his trials and tribulations, I'm just always like, but I want you to win. Like, I really just want you to win. So at first, he is very immature. You know, when I say like people can't get it together, he's one of them that can't get it together. He's immature. He lacks like compassion for Maka, because I don't know, I feel like some things you should obviously read the signs to. And like, if this girl keeps giving you beef, you should know that it's probably because she's feeling you. So like, what are you doing? And even when Soul meets older women, he like freaks out. You know, he gets these nosebleeds when he sees the goods. And yeah, he just needs a little work. He, to me, sometimes can be arrogant too. He is narcissistic, but it is not as bad as Black Star, so I don't mind it. But I do low-key hate that I simp for him, because, like I say, so you just need to get it together. And sometimes he treats Maka wrong, and I feel like he's extremely mean to her. But like I say, sometimes Maka, I just be like, you can get it together too, because I don't know why y'all thought that being partners was a great idea when you act, excuse me, the way you act. So Maka and Soul, they do have a good friendship though, and they help each other out like whenever they need each other. They are there. So though, he slacks off, he cheats on tests, homeboy got stripped down to his boxers. he just has a hard time coping, you guys. A really hard time coping. So along the way, so Soul comes from a family of musicians, and along the way, he ends up having like this encounter within himself, and he basically, so let's go back. I told you guys I was going to talk about something else, but I wanted to cover other basics first. So in this universe, there are things called Keishans. Now, it reminds me, it makes me think about Corey when I say Keishans, because it makes me think of like Corey Kenshin. Is this the light one? It is. So these Keishans are basically bad versions of the demon weapons. So Keishans, they go out and they want power, right? So they eat and prey on the souls of those who are pure and innocent. And Keishans kind of just don't care. They're uncontrolled. They're unhinged. They got issues, right? And so Soul is being tempted to like join the dark side and get power, and he struggles to find a balance. That's what I feel like, because he wants to be powerful, like he wants to do good, he wants to help Maka, but you know, he also wants to be stronger, he wants to be better, and you know, too much power is a bad thing. But I mean, so he ends up making a turnaround for the better. He's more cool, calm, collective. He becomes like a little man, you know, and he really does stick up for Maka. Despite all the bickering, all the argument, he'll do anything for her. He'll sacrifice himself for her. He makes sure she is good. And this is why I'm like, y'all need to be together in harmony. But I don't think I'm ever gonna get that wish as much as I've wished upon a star. How far, how far, how far? So we got some more characters to talk about that I'm getting ready to introduce. The next one is Black Star. He is Soul Eater's best friend. He's Soul Evan's best friend. They act just alike, okay? They are both cocky. They are both, they feel like they are the greatest gift to this earth. You know what I'm saying? You cannot tell baby children that they are not like blessed. So despite Black Star being like this fool who basically is hot, I mean not hot-headed. He's not really, he's a little hot-headed. He's really arrogant, you know, like for starters, he comes from this clan of assassins, and he is like the last living one. And because he is so powerful and like badass, I feel like sometimes that makes him a little bit of a jerk. Me, myself, and I. He's really smart. He's like one of the top ones at his class. And I love his partner. But we're going to stay on him for a little bit longer. So he is the last survivor of the Star Clan. He's a shadow weapon Meister. He is raised by a guy named Sid Burnett, and Sid's like, you're not White Star, so what are you complaining for? Like, be the best that you can be, and stop complaining, stop comparing yourself, and just do what you need to do. Black Star is best friends with Soul. They kind of relate the most. They understand the most, but like when they fight, it's just hard for Soul to get it together. Maka too, because while they are great fighters, they got a little bit of work to do. And if she would stop being so mad at her dad and work on like her swings with Soul, they can be a little bit better. But you know, they have the victory, and she helps save an important person. So we'll get there. And so Death Star, Black Star, he is accompanied by this sweet special weapon named Tsubaki. Hold on, because I have said this girl name so many times in my head, I'm gonna get it out. Subaki Naka Sukasa. Sukasa. I like saying Sukasa. But she is the sweetest. And it's like you and Maka should have been a team. And Soul and Black Star could have been a team. But they probably would have never gotten a lick of anything done. Subaki, she's the sweetest thing to walk this earth. She oftentimes like knows Black Star is about to do something, and she's down for the ride anyway. She's very loyal to him. She will apologize a lot. You know, she says sorry. She tries to make amends a lot, especially like when her friends are beefing. She's soft-spoken. Like, she really is this sweet character, and I remember I felt bad for her a lot of times because I felt like she got mistreated and done wrong. You know, like people try to take advantage of her. But Black Star's like, that's not happening on my watch, Captain. And I also think that, you know, they should be a couple because they just kind of, we go together. They go together, you know. And like I said, she's really sweet. She is one character that I cannot rain on her parade. There is not nothing bad I can say about her. Like, I don't feel like she needs to improve any areas of her life. Baby child is just, she's gravy, man. And so Black Star really lucked out with her because she is, I said she's a babysitter to Black Star. She really is. She comes from a special clan who descends from the mother of magic weapons, Arachne Borgon. Arachne. I told y'all I ain't good with the names. But so the reason why Subaki, baby child here, is trying to be the best that she can be every day of the week is because she has a brother who is a Kishin, and she's trying to save him. And oh, it's just sad. It's sad to think about the fact that she's on the right side of justice and she's trying to save her brother who's just not getting it together. Because, you know, I have siblings. I have older and younger siblings, and I would do anything I could to save them, you know, and make sure like they are protected. So I understand why she wants so desperately bad to like help save her brother, you know. Like I can get that. I can get behind it. I can get with it. She's good in my book. Baby girl's good. So the next person is Death the Kid. Now Death is a little funny to me because he is a fashionista, okay? Can't tell this man that he ain't got the moves like Jagger. He has two twin weapons named Liz and, oh crap, what was the other one named? Patty. Which, Patty is such a funny name to me. I like it. It's a cute name, but her name is Patty. And out of everybody, he seems the one to like chill out the most. But then his dad is like head honcho, so I mean, you can't be getting in trouble in school, right? When your parent is the headmaster and confirmed quote unquote God of the universe. Like, you gotta act right. So he's at the top of his class, okay, and his weapons, they are pistols, you know, which hey, I like the fact that they pistols. Like, hey, let me out. But he is a bit sarcastic, I feel like, which we gotta have a great sense of humor, right? Like, you gotta be like that sometimes. Liz and Patty, they are a little bit much sometimes though, and I'm like, I am convinced that when y'all get older, this is just gonna be the way y'all end up. But so apparently not no apparently to it. He becomes headmaster because, okay, I'm trying to give you characters and then get into like the of it. So who else? Who do I need love to talk about? Ooh, Stein. Okay, so Frankenstein. That Frankenstein. This fly is going. I'm not gonna worry about it. So Frankenstein. Hello, go out. Frankenstein is confirmed to be taken from like the actual Frankenstein. That's where his character ideas come from. And let me tell you, spot on, because this man, he can be a bit decrepit. And I'm like, he is very sadistic. He got issues, all right? There was one time where he was fighting with Maka, and he was like, I wonder, should I dissect you here and like cut you open there? And, you know, I'm pretty sure he was playing, but it's like, even that's too close for comfort, sir. You need to back up off of me. But Frankenstein is like a professor there, and he is like the top head honcho. You know, so like how Maka's dad is like the head scythe or whatever, or sword, or whatever you want to call it. Then Frankenstein is like that, but for the Meisters. Now Einstein, he likes to experiment on things, and he was partners with Spirit, but they oftentimes get into it. Not everybody really agrees with Spirit, but Spirit is out here just, he's trying. He's trying to be a good dad. He's trying to do good works. He does take his job serious of being a weapon. Like, he is very serious about that role. He's serious about being a dad to Maka. The only thing he ain't serious about is keeping it in his pants. Which, sir, you should be grateful you don't have no more pregnancy suits on your hands. But so Einstein likes to experiment. And though he is twisted, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, you already know it's coming. I simp for that man. I really do. I really do. I'm like, you are a danger to society. You should not have as much freedom with these kids as you do. But alas, the directors thought it best. Ugh. So there's a big lady up in here that we're going to talk about, and I can't wait to rage about her because she made me extremely emotional throughout this whole anime, and I feel like my life would have been so much better if she would have just kept her hands to herself and minded her own business and stopped being a greedy human being, because we never learn in any world that true power does not come from forcing people to be what you think it should be or how you think society should be. And I don't know, I guess she wanted to be like a female Lord Death, so you know, she wanted to play her cards right, but you are a horrible person. Like, you are just the worst. And so I can rage in peace. Let me set this character up. Her name is Medusa. Yeah, she's kind of like that the goddess Medusa, except for I'm convinced that this lady is quite worse. Medusa is basically, she doesn't care about nothing, alright? She only cares about herself. She's self-serving. She's everything about her, to the point where like even her kids are affected by it. And that's what makes me mad, because I do not like mothers who are not like good mothers to their kids, because you birthed your kids. So why are you sitting here making it seem like the world needs to do you a favor when you wanted to willingly have and keep that kid? Anywho, Medusa is out here wrecking shop, right? She is trying to bring back these Keishans, literally to restore the world back into motion. And I'm like, Okay, but what do you mean by that? Like, what do you mean by that? She is, I call Stein decrepit, but this lady takes the title. She has 2 kids. I believe one of them is named Ragnarok. The other one is named Corona. Now, Corona, we love him. He is not the best always, but work with me because we love him. Corona is troubled because look at his mama. Look at this snake. This slithery snake. Look at that lady. So she basically wants him to become a Kishin. She orders all the children to do what she wants them to do and kill and eat certain things. And if they do not, oh, if they do not, she's like a fruit basket parent. That's an anime we can also talk about because when I finished Fruits Basket, well, I ain't technically finished all the Fruits Basket, but from what I've seen, baby, we are angered. Anywho's, before we get back to that, because that's going to be a whole different episode. So, she locks them into rooms. She takes love away from them. And honestly, she didn't even accept her kid Corona until he had become a successful Kishin and like gotten all this power. And it's not your power, lady. So why are you sitting here acting like he has to abide by your rules? So Medusa and Krona, but we're talking about Krona right now. Krona is trying to basically do what his mama say because he wants love. Like, she is his mother. He wants to be loved by her. Any kid would want that, right? This freaking lady, man, she just treats him so bad. And it breaks my heart for Krona because, first of all, we don't know if Krona is a girl or a boy. They are genderless, which that was the first ever anime that I've encountered that done that. So I don't know. I always assumed that Krona was a he, but that is not actually confirmed. If it is a male or a female, they are genderless. So they are out here trying to duck it out, thrive, and survive. But I always thought Krona was a boy because of how they talked and like carried themselves. But for the purposes of this anime and just getting it right, and I don't want the fights in the comments, they are out here trying to live their best life and appease their horrible mother by becoming horrible themselves. And Krona, sometimes I wanted to punch Krona too. And that sounds so bad to say, but I wanted to punch Krona because, listen, I've been supposed to be turning this way, really. Now listen, Krona, he was just submissive and like a pushover. And I get it. That's your mom, right? Like, you're trying to do right by her. You're trying to be the best that you can be, baby, in this life. Okay? And he don't want to be locked up in rooms. He don't want to die. Like, I know. I get it. But there comes a point in time, sir, where you're going to have to put your foot down and, like, stand up for what you believe in. Because his mama was treating him wrong. All right? Like, she was just sitting over here. Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And he was like, don't stop believing. It was rough, y'all. And I'm like, Krona, you don't gotta be this way. And mid-battle, he could be realizing how this is so wrong and so messed up and so twisted. But he will literally go back to being that bad guy anyway, just for his mom. And I get it, because where else are you going to go? What are you going to do? But, like, how are you going to live your best life? So, I keep saying he. Sorry, guys. They were just out here fighting the wolves. I love all these references. They were fighting the wolves trying to survive. And Stein is, like, he's having it with Medusa. And she is, like, trying to convince him. So, Medusa has a crush on Stein, which I can't blame her. I can't blame baby for feeling what she feel, but Stein literally called this lady out and was like, Medusa, you're like me. You ain't got no heart. So shut up with that lovey-dovey stuff, because you and I both know you don't love nobody but yourself. You're self-serving, you're self-seeking, you're a bad mom. Why do you think I want to be with you and you can't even raise a kid right? So you think you about to come up in here and be an experiment for me? No, no specimen of mine is going to be treated like that. And so Medusa is just enamored by this man, and he's like, I am not here for you. Poor Medusa, she didn't get love, which I say poor Medusa, but good on Stein. And that's another reason why I like him, because you did not let the bad lady win your heart. I would have been bitter, because once again, it would have been like fruits baskets, but we're going to save that rage for another day. So Medusa is out here trying to take out all of the soul eaters, if you ask me. She especially hates Maka, and I believe she especially hates Maka because she sees like how powerful Maka is, how powerful Soul is, and her kid actually appreciates Maka, and like he cares about Maka, and I don't really think that she approves of that message that he, you know, has these feelings for Maka, but that they have these feelings for Maka. And Krona was just telling Maka, you're the first human, well, they don't say human, but you're the first person who ever really noticed me, acknowledged me for me, cared about me as a person outside of being like a thing or a being. So I can understand the appeal. You're gonna gravitate You're gonna gravitate towards people who treat you kind and with respect and treat you like, you know, you are a human, and they see you. And poor Krona, his mother left him touch stars because he was not getting attention at home, and he was getting bullied a lot, you know, or shoved into like dark caves and things. And it's just like, Krona, you don't have to live this life. That was very angry, but that's how I feel. You don't gotta live this life, baby. You can be great by yourself in the corner with somebody else. And so, at one point, Krona and Ragnarok, hope I'm saying that name right, they even end up going to school with Maka and the rest. And they're trying to change their life and become better people and, you know, fit in. But when Medusa comes back up like the snake she is, because, you know, if you don't cut his head off, it is just disastrous. So Medusa comes back, and she gets Krona and them back, and Krona and them goes back evil. So the school ends up having to prepare to fight this, I believe it was a Kishin who had been just waiting. He was like, give me a moment and give me a reason. He had a lot of reasons. So they are under attack, the school is. And essentially the students, like, they're trying to be the best that they can be. You know, like, do your best and not get stressed. All the mantras that I quote, that's what the students are on right now. And they are getting ready to go to war with, like, these Kishins and, you know, evil monsters and stuff. Because of who? Medusa. I blame her for everything bad that happens, because she's behind it in some form of fashion. And can't nobody ever convince me that that lady deserves love. And, like, even when I was reading her backstory, they were saying how she probably really did love Krona, and how, you know, she expressed interest in Stein, and how she could have had a heart for Stein. But I agree with Stein. You cannot sit up here and tell me that you are loving anything and you're not taking care of your kids. How are you going to convince me as a person watching the show that she was a great mom, a decent mom? She wasn't even a decent mom. Like, she just gets no rights to me. She deserves none. And she's the one who triggers me this episode, because she deserves no rights. Like, I ain't never met a more spineless lady. I say that, but Perfect Blue, after Perfect Blue, I'm just convinced. You need to be careful around who you spend your time with. But Perfect Blue was just wild because they didn't even know that she was crazy. At least they somewhat knew Medusa was off her rocker. So Soul Eater, I believe it lasted for 2 seasons. I can't remember how many seasons. I do know or remember it has like 50 episodes, but I kind of think it depends on where you go stream it at. When I watched it back in the day, it was on Netflix. So now I don't know, because you know you could probably go watch it on like Crunchyroll or like, what was the other one? Anime VRV. And then there's Funimation. So take your pick. But on the recommendation side of it, I would give, honestly, I give Soul Eater, I give that one an 8 out of 10. I did enjoy the anime. I mean, it was just, they had a lot of funny parts. There are some perverse parts, so I am going to warn about that. You know, like the typical nosebleed scene when a busty lady steps on the scene. Choosing my words carefully, friends. But yeah, when a busty lady steps on the scene, the dad, he has questionable moments. And I'm just like, I don't know if that is appropriate, sir. But I think you should watch it, because it really is a good show. And yeah, just the way, a lot of things I kept out, like certain characters, they do go through their own personal struggles, like with finding their power and finding themselves. That part I left out because go watch it. Go see for yourself what's happening with them. I think you'll enjoy it. I enjoy it too because I have on the channel, but I used to go on well, actually, I haven't said this part, but I played this game called Mobile Legends, and there's a character in there named Ruby, and she wields a scythe, and she's just so amazing to me. She's one of my favorite characters to play with, even though I've gotten a bit rusty on Homegirl. But yeah, I love the weapons. I love the plot. Hate how Maka treats her dad, but it is understanding. Understanding. I hate it, but I get it. Sir, you really did her mama wrong. How many times? And it's even worse because her mom helped him become a weapon master once again. So, how you gonna do her like that? You know what? How you gonna act like that? Tyrese, that's gonna be our song for the week. How you gonna? Not by, that was Why You Wanna. But how you gonna by Tyrese. And that song goes out to Spirit Allborn, aka Maka's dad. So shout out one time for the one time, cuz. Yeah, it really is a good anime. And I do think you will hands down enjoy watching it. So you go watch that. Let me know what you think. Like, do you think Maka's dad deserves more justice? I just want to know. I just want to know who's going to fight for this man. Because I can be a hero. He was not fighting for anybody, but his own wants and needs, like Drake said. Alright, babe, so this is the completed look. Todoroki come through. Come through. I said Todoroki come through. Come through. Come through. Hey, let's come through. Come through. Come through. Anywho, this is my take on Todoroki. So I hope you guys did enjoy. First of all, I'm sorry that, like, if my funny meter was down today. It is hot, okay? It feels like Maka's rage up in here, okay? And I tried my best to be funny, but honestly, with older animes, it is kind of hard because I don't go back and watch them. I just refresh, look over what happened, and I'm like, I do remember that, and I talk about it. So So sorry, but if not, I hope you at least enjoyed the look and you got some information. Please watch it, see for yourself. It is a great anime. I do recommend it. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend, an incredible week as always. I was gonna put something else in here. I don't know, but as always, oh, that's what it was. It was a little heartfelt message. Get with me, we're getting used to this. This was very inexpensive to do. Literally, it's just face paint and glitter. So, you know, I know sometimes it seems like disheartening. Maybe you can't afford to do something, but something somebody else can do, or you don't have their things or like the things online, but you can find a way to create your own stuff. Like, if you have a dream or an idea or anything, you can find a way to do what you want. This is my version of cosplaying. You know, I don't always have the looks. Most of the times I have to face paint it out, but I have so much fun doing this, and honestly, it looks amazing when it comes together. So be encouraged. Just be yourself and add your take onto it, okay? You don't have to fit in with anybody else or blend in with anybody else. You just do your own thing, and it's gonna be beautiful. And if you want to tag me in it and show it off, please do, because I'd love to see it. But gonna get out of here, gang. If you did enjoy, please kiss me with that heart button. Please comment which anime you would like me to review, which manga you'd like for me to read. If there's a particular look or character you would want me to try to take on, it can be outside the bases of anime. Any kind of look that you might think that you would want me to do, please let me know, because I'd love to look into it. Please subscribe and hit the bell for notifications for when I post. But until next time, please always remember, dandelions, the Lord does love you. May He bless and keep you. I love you as well, and I hope wherever you are, you're having an incredible night or an amazing day. Goodbye, guys. See you.